The first white men of your people who came to our country, and Clark. All in Nez Perce made friends with Lewis and Clark, and agreed to let them pass through their country, and never to make war on white men. This promise the Nez Perce have never broken. It has always been the pride of the Nez Perce, the friends of the white men. Chief Joseph.
In 1871, an aging Nez Perce chief summoned one of his sons, Hinmatuyalatkek, also called Joseph, to his deathbed. Their homeland in the Wallowa country of northeastern Oregon was being overwhelmed by white settlers. After 3/4 of a century of unbroken peace with the United States, the Nez Perce felt betrayed. Although the government claimed a treaty permitted the new settlements, Joseph's band had never signed that treaty and insisted the land.
My father was the first to see through the schemes of the white men. He said, "My son, when I am gone, you are the chief of these people. Always remember that your father never sold his country. You must stop your ears whenever you are asked to sign a treaty selling your home. My son, never forget my dying words. This country holds your father's body. Never sell the bones of your father and mother." I pressed my father's hand and told him I would protect his grave with my life. A man who would not love his father's grave is worse than a wild animal. Chief Joseph.
Afternoon of October 5th, 1877, Joseph rode out to the foot of a bluff on the prairie. Colonel Miles and General Howard were waiting for him.
Joseph threw himself off his horse, draped his blanket about him, and with a quiet pride, not exactly defiance, advanced toward General Howard and held out his rifle in token of submission. Lieutenant Charles Erskine Wood.
I am tired of fighting. Our chiefs are all killed. Looking Glass is dead. The old men are all dead. It is cold, and we have no blankets. The little children are freezing to death. My people, some of them, have run away to the hills and have no food. No one knows where they are. I want to have time to look for my children and see how many of them I can find. Maybe I shall find them among the dead. Hear me, my chiefs. I am tired. My heart is sick and sad. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more, forever.
Joseph and his people were loaded onto a riverboat and sent down the Missouri River toward Fort Abraham Lincoln in Dakota Territory, where they expected to spend the winter. But while they were on the way, Miles and Howard's promise that they would be allowed to return home had been overruled by General Sherman.
The Indians throughout displayed and elicited universal praise. They abstained from scalping, let captive women go free, did not commit indiscriminate murder of peaceful families, which is usual, and fought with almost scientific skill. Nevertheless, they would not settle down on land set apart for them, and when commanded by proper authority, they began resistance by murdering persons in no manner connected with their alleged grievances. They should never again be allowed to return to Oregon. General William Tecumseh Sherman.
Miles and Howard could not change Sherman's decision. The Nez Perce had been betrayed again. When the Indians arrived at the fort, its cannon greeted them, and the steam engine of a Northern Pacific train blasted its whistle 3 times. They had never seen a train before, and the Nez Perce began a mournful song. It sounded, one onlooker said, like a death chant. Then Joseph and his people were loaded onto the train. They were not going home, they were now told, but far away, into exile in the northeastern corner of Indian Territory, in what is now Oklahoma, nearly 2,000 miles from their beloved Wallowa Valley. Once there, they found conditions unsanitary, medicine scarce. 68 of them perished in the first year alone. Soon, they had a cemetery set aside solely for babies, with 100 graves. Among the Nez Perce who died was an old man named Halatukit, or Daytime Smoke. According to Joseph's people, he was the half-Indian son of William Clark, the American explorer the Nez Perce had sheltered more than 70 years earlier. The man who had first promised that the United States would always be their friend.
Good words do not last long. Good words do not pay for my dead people. They do not pay for my country, now overrun by white men. Good words will not get my people a home where they can live in peace and take care of themselves. I am tired of talk that comes to nothing. It makes my heart sick when I remember all the good words and broken promises. You might as well expect the rivers to run backward as that any man who was born a free man should be contented when penned up and denied liberty to go where he pleases. Chief Joseph.